Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Why Did I Do This in the Relationship Advice subreddit. The post is titled, I am 28M and my ex-fiance, 27, broke our engagement when she accused me of cheating. I wasn't. Now I find out my sister, 31, engineered the whole thing. I'm furious with her, but I don't want to lose my sister. I only have one sibling, my sister Grace, who's 3 years older. Grace is the stereotypical cool big sister. Cool, smart, funny, always encouraging my dreams. I wouldn't have made it through high school and college without her, especially since my mother is nasty and controlling and walks all over my dad. Grace has defended me from mom about 1,000,000 times. She's never liked the girls I brought home though. She'll be polite around them, unlike my mom, who was usually flat out hostile, but that was it. My senior year in college, I met Rachel and we both knew immediately we wanted to be together. First and only time I slept with someone on the first date. I asked her to marry me and she said yes. We started making the preparations. Rachel wasn't perfect, however. She could be a bit controlling and overly jealous. Sometimes she would pout if I was out with her and she thought I was looking at other girls. She even didn't like me hanging out with Grace all that much. In Rachel's defense, sometimes Grace would hang all over me and call me pet names in front of Rachel, then tell my girlfriend to lighten up, we're just sibs. A month before the wedding, Rachel found a pair of unfamiliar panties and a bra under our bed. We were living together by this time. Naturally, she wanted to know whose they were. I had no idea. Then she asked to see my phone and started screaming. Where are your text messages? They've all been erased. I'm not a big tech guy, so I thought they erased themselves or something. She accused me of cheating and I thought the idea was so ridiculous I laughed in her face. Bad move. Rachel stormed out of the house and wouldn't answer my calls. I freaked. I called Grace and she came over, telling me not to try to contact Rachel and give her time to cool off. We talked and she basically said that Rachel wasn't good enough for me, that I could do better, etc. She said that before, so as mom, so I didn't think too much of it. When I told Grace about the erased texts, she said, that's super sketchy. Only cheaters erase their texts. When I told her I wasn't cheating on Rachel ever, she said she believed me. Just let it sit for a few days. The next day, I got an angry call from Rachel's dad, who was not exactly a member of my fan club to start with. If you're a man, you'll tell me the truth, he barked. I told him and he grumbled and hung up. He called back a few hours later and told me that you and my daughter are done. I tried calling Rachel, but she wouldn't talk to me. I tried to see her at her parents' house, but no dice. Suddenly, my fiance, the woman I was going to spend the rest of my life with, was gone, just like she had died. When I finally realized it was really over, I had to unmake all the wedding arrangements. Rachel and I were paying for it ourselves. I got maybe half of my money back. Bad. Through it all, Grace was my rock, pushing me to go on with my life, kicking my butt when it needed it, just being there for me. I thank God that I had such a wonderful sibling. Her love and strength took a lot of the pain away. Also, alcohol helped. Now, Grace and I were out at the bar and she was pretty toasted. She talked about her favorite topic, why all men suck. I countered that women weren't any better, especially Rachel, who ripped my life in half on an unsubstantiated feeling that I had cheated on her. Grace just laughed and said, little bro, she got played, so did you. But it was for the best, right? I asked her what she meant by that and she suddenly shut up. When I pressed, she literally ran out of the bar, into her car, then drove home drunk. I was terrified she was going to crash into somebody. Next day, she calls, crying, and admitted it was her bra and panties Rachel had found. She'd even worn them before tossing them under my bed, yuck. And she was the one who erased the messages off my phone. I let her use my phone all the time. She's always losing hers. Why did you do this? I yelled at her. First, she said she meant it as a joke, but then admitted she was trying to break Rachel and me up. She was trash. She never respected you. I'm your sister. I love you. I know what's best for you. I remember just dropping the phone and curling up in a ball, sobbing. I can't believe my own family would do this to me. I got very drunk. I haven't talked to Grace since then. I can't focus or work or even play video games. I'm a zombie. I can't talk to Rachel. She's married and has a kid now. Would have been my kid. I talked to my parents and my mom took Rachel's side and my dad says he doesn't want to take sides. I miss my sister. She's all I've got. But I hate her. Man, people, my family, what do I do? User Axel said, you need to cut off contact with your sister for a while. She basically ruined your life by orchestrating this huge plan to make the love of your life think you cheated just to break you up because she didn't think you all were right for each other. That's literally psycho behavior. Cut her off and let her know that it will be an extremely long time before you will ever be able to trust her again. Maybe even never. She's your sister, so you will probably eventually forgive her, but you also need time to move past this. If you don't, you'll resent her, and every time you see, talk, or hang out with her, you'll be reminded of the shit she pulled. User Oshawa Guy said, do you not think that Rachel was controlling and jealous because Grace was picking away at her confidence behind your back? Do you not think that Grace and your mom won't act against your next relationship? Looking from the outside in, yes, Grace has had your back through your youth, but she apparently sees herself as your de facto girlfriend. She was all clingy and cutesy when Rachel was around. She plotted to destroy that relationship, and then she made herself your rock when Rachel was gone. Yes, she's your sister, but your sister is toxic. She is inhibiting your growth as an individual, and she'll insert herself into every relationship and life decision for the rest of your life. You need to get away from her and consider therapy to undo the harm that she is continuing to do to you. User Sir EDC said, this is probably the most f***ed up thing I've read in the last month, and trust me, I see a lot of up stuff. Put simply, this is possessive, abusive, disrespectful, and totally manipulative. It is an action that shows your sister does not respect your right to make your own decisions and thinks it's okay for her to screw up parts of your life that she doesn't like. That is a betrayal of the worst kind, a knife in the back. I really hate to say this, but you do not have your sister. She manipulated you and your fiance, she destroyed a relationship with a girl you are going to marry, and more than that, she felt it was okay to do these things. The fact that she helped you through the resulting aftermath is irrelevant. Sick even. She wrecked your life so you would have nobody but her to turn to. With friends like that, who needs enemies? I'm serious. You are better off alone than hanging around a family member like that. If this were me, I would declare myself done with Grace and anyone who felt what she did was acceptable behavior. Whether Rachel was good or bad for you isn't the point. The point is that it wasn't their decision to make. So by my judgment, anyone who is okay with ruining your relationship because they don't like the girl is a betrayer of the worst sort, someone you should not want to have in your life. I'm a very forgiving person, but I don't think I could ever forgive that, because there is no excuse for it, and there is no redeeming it. Were that not the case, I would demand that Grace explain herself to Rachel and Rachel's father, but now there's nothing to be gained from that. Put simply, anyone who manipulates me and destroys things I care about is not my friend or my family. They are my enemy, and I will excise them from my life as I would excise a cancerous tumor from my body. So with that in mind, I would advise you to leave all those assholes behind and focus on yourself. You right now are all you've got, because anyone okay with treating you like that is not your friend and is not someone helpful to have in your life. Work on self-improvement. Take up some hobbies, maybe learn an instrument, expand your mind, take classes, read more, etc. Come up with an ideal vision of who you want to be and start moving yourself toward that. You have been through hell and back. You can survive this too. You will come through this stronger than ever. And what you should, in my humble opinion, take away from this is zero tolerance for manipulation or lies. Anyone, be it a friend, a significant other, or a family member who thinks they have a right to make your decisions for you should be treated as a cancerous parasite and removed quickly. Best of luck, my friend. The very next day, OP provided an update. First of all, thank you for all the good advice, and a special shout out to one user for his suggested text to my family. Beautiful. I'm going to cut it down a bit and rewrite it in my own words when I send it later today. Again, thanks. I'm also considering therapy, but I don't really know where to go. Any ideas would be appreciated. Second, I want to apologize for some of the things I wrote yesterday, especially that second update that freaked everybody out. In my defense, I was in a very dark place and mostly drunk. My alcohol consumption is a whole other matter, but I'm beginning to see the light on that too. When I said Grace and I fooled around, I meant when we were real little, like 4 to 5, the usual playing doctor stuff. No, not everybody does that, but we did. So sue me. And I haven't seen my sister naked a million times. It's more like 800,000, kidding. We were kind of casual about semi-nudity growing up, even changing in front of one another as teenagers, no big deal. That all stopped when she went away to college, and it didn't instill some kind of crazed lust inside me. I did accidentally walk in on her once while she was in her underwear a few years back. She responded by screaming and throwing a hairbrush at my head. Does that count? See, I've always been a wee bit sensitive about the whole I word thing. As kids, we both got teased unmercifully about it. Eventually, we started giving them what they wanted and would hug each other in public, just to be annoying. Unfortunately, Grace continued to do this even after I got my first steady girlfriend in college, and later when I was with Rachel. I'd tell my sister to knock it off, and she'd just laugh. "Just hacking on you, little bro," she'd say. Possessive, irritating, infuriating, yes. Proof she had a thing for me. Nah, my sister was my person, I guess, the only member of my so-called family who would fight for me. Now, all that's gone. I know I can't forgive her for this shit, but never seeing Grace ever again is not an attractive option either. I guess I just need to sort it all out and slowly crawl out of the wreckage. This sucks, man, and to the people who think this shit is all fake, I don't blame you. I don't really want to believe this either, that my own sister could do this to me, but it's true. Shit, I wish my hangover was fake too. Again, thanks everybody. A deleted user said, honestly, if I can suggest anything, it would be not to postpone the therapy and to tackle the drinking immediately. Like no drinking, especially now. Finding a therapist is simple. Assuming you have insurance, go on your insurance company's website. They will have a way to search for in-network therapists. It will probably let you go by specialty as well. I don't think you need any special characteristics for a therapist. Maybe look for someone with expertise in family or relationship-related matters. Just pick one in network and make an appointment. Go to see them and start talking. If you are not comfortable with them for any reason, then pick a new one. It's up to you. User Zork said, I'd tell Grace that if she wants you to even think about having a relationship with her in the future, she has to reach out to Rachel, explain what she did, and apologize. She also has to publicly apologize to you. I'd cut her out completely if she doesn't agree to do those two things at a minimum. Even if she did, I'd have a hard time being in her company. Forgiveness does not obligate you to act like it didn't happen, nor are you obligated to resume any sort of relationship with her. It means that you accept that it happened and let it go. It's not healthy to dwell on stuff like that. You might want to look into some kind of therapy for this. Talking it over with a neutral party will help. User Beauteous World said, your entire family, including you, needs to learn healthy boundaries via intense professional therapy. Neither your nor your sister's behavior is okay. Making girlfriends jealous with physical affection with her own brother and your lack of proper response is fucked up. Just because you haven't had sex doesn't mean that the relationship is anywhere close to appropriate. If I were Rachel, I'd be happy to have dodged this bullet of a family. User Trace said, unfortunately, this is the result of a lifetime of the boundaries between you and your sister becoming increasingly distorted. Your sensitivity to the criticism of the big I is telling. You are both aware of it, and I hope you can see that it doesn't just have to be to be a problem. This is her thinking it is okay to meddle in a way that exceeds just about any dynamic I can think of, let alone siblings. You two ought to consider therapy together to work on that. You need to establish more realistic boundaries, and in that, she will hopefully come to acknowledge her fault. You may not have the intimacy you had previously, but that is in pursuit of a healthier relationship overall. I think you'll find the lifetime of bullying has taken a bigger toll on her than you expect as well. In her mind, her meddling was likely earnest. You've spent a long time as just us against the world, so is it any shock she didn't feel bad taking a partner out of the picture? Not to condone any of this. More just to start framing it in a better way. You're drinking to numb the shock of the betrayal, but if you look at it in a more reasonable light, that this is just a symptom of a problem that you know has had to be dealt with for a while, the fact that you and she are too close, then it is easier to swallow. And that isn't about her, it is about you, because it is you that has to live with this.